What's something that can't be explained? It must be experienced. Psychosis. The moment when you are playing an instrument and you aren't really making decisions on what you are playing. The music just flows out. Imposter syndrome, at least for me when I try to explain to people the pain of losing a loved one. Drugs, hallucinating ones. The effect of chronic pain on one's mental health. An orgasmus. Going up the stairs and putting your foot down thinking there's one more step at the top than there actually is. I want to say virtual reality. Lots of people think it's a gimmick without trying it. Scuba diving. I'm struggling to find the words to tell you, to be honest. Being blind. Trying to understand that there's nothing for a blind person and that it isn't just darkness. Black. Hurts my brain to try and understand edit. Please stop saying, imagine trying to look out of body part. Quote. It doesn't fucking help. Nostalgia. It's so much more than just missing the past. It's a very strange blend of sad and happy. A full solar eclipse. Addiction. I've seen many people ask for a description and I've seen a lot of good explanations, but I don't think any words really capture it right. Being in love with a person that is in love with you as well. Edit. Thanks for all the upvotes and rewards. I didn't think people felt the same. Just how large the Grand Canyon is. People can tell you it's X miles long and Y miles deep and Z miles wide, but you can't really comprehend what it's like to stand on the edge of something like that. That feeling when your nose is clogged but then you get into the right position and your nose frees up. Depression. Childbirth, divorce. Not feeling good enough. You trap yourself in a prison built from your own thoughts. And you are overwhelmed with so many emotions that I cannot possibly put into words. Reddit to people that don't use Reddit. What it feels like to experience an ocean to someone that's never seen a body of water greater than a small lake. Dream logic, chronology. Sometimes you can't put into words what happened in your dream, or how two things were true at the same time. But when you experience it, it makes perfect sense. Standing on a pier or in a boat and seeing nothing but ocean surrounding you on all sides. Finally feeling like you are an adult. The best I can say is it does happen. And it happens after the time you get the "no one knows anything" epiphany. And it doesn't happen for everyone. But once you get there you know. It's like a general comfort and confidence. But those words mean nothing unless you've experienced what I'm trying to describe. People look at me funny when I say this. But combat. After I returned from overseas, people would ask me what it was like. But I honestly couldn't explain it in a way that they could really understand. The risks far outweigh the rewards. But I gather that if you talk to a lot of veterans who saw combat, many of them will look upon it almost fondly. There's nothing like it. No amount of skydiving or other extreme sports come close to the exhilaration and rush of being shot at and retuning fire. It's an experience unmatched by anything in the world, where the only difference between life and death is if you're better at making subtle aiming changes. Sounds bloodthirsty. And I'm not saying it's a fun thing to kill people or see others get killed. It's just one of those things that you have to experience to really understand what I'm talking about. I really don't know how to describe it, but it's a weird taste in my throat that comes randomly from nowhere. Being in an abusive relationship and not realizing it's abusive. Or realizing you're in an abusive relationship and not wanting to leave. That feeling when you stare at the stars and realize how small we're on an astral level. Mania. Lucid dreaming. Breaking up with a partner you still love. Tying a necktie. How to drive safely in the snow. Hot. You can't explain it to a child. They have to experience it to understand. Color. It's hard to explain an anxiety attack unless you've had one. My mother used to get them and I never understood what she was going through until I started having them later on in life. Getting old. It just plain sucks and nothing can prepare you for it. Your body starts doing weird shit. Everything hurts. Your brain starts going and you actually can recognize it, but damn, it just is depressing. When you fall for a terrible person and gloss over all of their flaws. Doesn't matter how hard your friends try to explain. I'm going to say the realization of your own mortality. It's always an obscure concept that always seems so far away until in one terrifying moment it becomes a crystal clear fact of reality.